Welcome, everyone, and good morning. The 2020 Ryder Cup will be held just about an hour north of here in Kohler, Wisconsin. And Whistling Straits is a world-class venue designed by Hall of Famer Pete Dye, and we've hosted 3 PGA championships there before previously. The Kohler family has created truly one of the greatest golf courses in America on the shores of Lake Michigan, and it is truly one of the most visually stunning golf courses in the world.
Susie, why don't we go ahead and cut to the chase? I think you have some news that you would like to share with everybody today.
I do have some news. In the history of the Ryder Cup, there's been 28 U.S. Ryder Cup captains. On behalf of the PGA of America and the members of the Ryder Cup Committee, it is truly my honor to share with you our next inductee as a U.S. Ryder Cup captain. He's played 3 Ryder Cups, including the 2008 victorious team. He's a 3-time vice captain, including the 2016 victorious team, and he captained the victorious 2017 President's Cup. It is my honor to introduce to you the 2020 United States Ryder Cup captain, Steve Stricker.
Take a deep breath and talk to us about maybe the emotions you have right now and maybe what this means to your family.
Yeah, this is thank you to the PGA and the Ryder Cup Committee for giving me this opportunity, first of all. I'm an emotional guy, but truly a dream come true. You know, an honor to represent the PGA, the competition itself, and truly humbled, really humbled by this. Wojo's here too. How you doing? You know, truly humbled by this opportunity because it's, you know, I'm very passionate about this competition, and you know, some people see this and they don't think I'm very passionate about or fiery about playing the game of golf and what I do for a living. But deep down, I'm very competitive. We want to win this more than ever, and I'm here to help in any way I can. So I'm very blessed and happy to be here. Thank you.
Congratulations again, Steve. Susie, as a member of the PGA Ryder Cup Committee, you and the captain have made some decisions already on the 2020 calendar. Can you share some of those insights, please?
Sure, we have. The point system is very similar to what you've seen in the last Ryder Cup. All U.S. players will have the opportunity to begin compiling points at this week's WGC Mexico Championship. They will conclude on August 23rd, 2020 at the BMW Championship. On September 1st, Captain Stricker will make all 4 captain selections 2 days after the conclusion of the Tour Championship.
Thanks, Susie. So, Steve, what do you think now about having all 4 picks at once and 3 weeks before the actual competition begins?
Yeah, you know, with the change of the scheduling on the PGA Tour, we have now a 3-week period between when the Ryder Cup points and the Ryder Cup itself. So we have this time period where we can, you know, make those selections, get everybody on board, the same page, formalize our team, work on the pairings, and give our guys an opportunity to rest, get ready, get their games in shape if they need to, and then take part in the Ryder Cup. But I think it's a good move. We experience, you know, where we waited on a pick last year, and that too provides a few issues along the way. But now I think we've formalized a really good system here, and it should be really good.
Steve, can you bring us a little bit more inside of you and share what you might describe as your captaincy style, what your approach will be?
Yeah, I think communication is my biggest thing. I want to make sure that all these players that make the team know what to expect from me and what I expect from them. And I think just listening to them, giving them a great environment to succeed and be able to put their best foot forward and But I think communication and being upfront with them and knowing what I expect from them is going to be the biggest thing.
I think everybody in the room here knows you're a proud ambassador of the state of Wisconsin. What does it mean to you knowing that you're going to be captaining in your own home state?
Yeah, it means a lot. It really does. It's I grew up not far from here. Wisconsin is a tremendous sports state. They back their teams with passion. The Packers, the Bucks, the Brewers, Marquette. The Badgers, every team, there's tremendous support for those teams. So I expect nothing different here for the Ryder Cup, or even more so. I've been at these PGAs the last few times here, the last two PGAs that were held at Whistling Straits, and they came out in full force and supported the event, and they support their own. So I'm excited to be here.
You talked about the 2010 and the 2015 PGA Championship, so let's talk a little bit about Whistling Straits as a Ryder Cup venue. What are your thoughts on it? You're obviously very familiar with it.
Yeah, I think it's a great course for this competition. It provides, great scenery, first of all. You feel like you're not even in Wisconsin when you're out there at Whistling Straits. It looks like an ocean out there, not one of the Great Lakes, but truly a magnificent-looking course. It's a Pete Dye course, so it's challenging to the eye. There's holes that are real legitimate birdie holes, and then there's some holes that you really got to suck it up and make pars are going to be good. And so I think that's going to lend itself to a good match play course.
You played on your first Ryder Cup in 2008. It was a very memorable week in Louisville, Kentucky. You told me after that you were pretty much hooked after making your first Ryder Cup team.
Yeah, that was an unbelievable experience. At the age of 41 to finally play your first Ryder Cup, it was something that I did, and the crowds there at Valhalla in Kentucky. Sorry. Phone's going off. Put that on the floor.
You want to tell anybody who that was?
Yeah. I got a nice text from John Daly. There you go.
There you go.
I just saw his workout video on the Golf Channel this morning. What was the question?
I think we were talking about Whistling Straits, quite honestly. We were talking about your first Ryder Cup team and how you were hooked right after that.
Yeah, it is very special competition, and that does bring out the passion in our players. And you're playing for your country, you're playing for the other teammates, and it's something you want to win at such a high level that it sometimes your play it's tough to bring out the best of your play, when you want it so badly. And but from that point on, I was hooked to play and wanted to make every team, and to now captain a team is really, really cool.
Padraig Harrington named the 2020 European Ryder Cup captain last month. What's your relationship like with him?
Yeah, first of all, a friend, really good guy. I've played with Padraig over the years. We've known each other for a long time. A truly great guy, unbelievable competitor. Some of the best golf ever played in the game by someone Padraig played, winning multiple major championships in a short period of time. So I look forward to spending more and more time with him and getting to know him a little bit better. And so I look forward to seeing him. And again, it'll be fun to be with him.
You played on 3 Ryder Cup teams. You were a vice captain on 3 Ryder Cup teams. You talked about your passion as a team member, but it was your vice captaincy roles where you really got a good look behind the scenes of the inner workings of the Ryder Cup. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, there's a lot going on. I mean, there's a lot behind the scenes, as players, but then when you see it as captains and the vice captains, there's just a lot to do, and there's a lot to think about, and there's a lot you got to take care of the 12 players, but their wives or their partners, everything, and then to get these guys playing their best is always a challenge as well. So yeah, I've learned a lot. I've experienced a lot, and hopefully I can use some of that experience this next time.
So speaking of vice captains, do you have any news you want to share with us today about that category?
Yeah, and keeping with the consistency that the Ryder Cup committee has put forth for us, you know, I have Jim Furyk as my first vice captain. Jim and I are friends. We go way back, you know, almost rookie years together. I think we're a year separate on tour. He was a vice captain for me at the President's Cup team last year. I was with him last year in Paris. Truly a great guy. He brings a lot to the table. I mean, even if it wasn't up to the Ryder Cup committee to put the next captain in place as a vice captain, I would still have Jim Furyk as a vice captain. He's a good guy, means a lot to me, and he'll be very beneficial for the team.
Steve, thank you very much. Susie, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we're happy to open the floor to questions now. If you have a question, please raise your hand high and try to get the attention of a couple of people we have holding microphones so we can find out who you are and where you're from.
No question. All right, let's go.
It looks like Gary has his hand. Very good.
Gary D'Amato, Wisconsin.golf. Congratulations, Steve.
Thank you.
You've been through it as a player and as a vice captain, as far as telling guys being, you know, sitting out a team competition, the partners, and how are you going to handle that when you tell guys that they're going to be sitting in a particular team format?
Yeah, that's the biggest challenge and the biggest obstacle. You know, it first comes when you have to call a guy on the phone and say you didn't make the team. I mean, that's I had to do that with the President's Cup, a few players. And again, I lean back and look back at what has worked, and I think it's that communication. And I think if you're up front with the player, know where he stands, I think that's the best you can do. And unfortunately, 4 guys have to sit every match, and that's what makes it difficult. And it makes it hard on all the players. It makes it hard on the captains to try to figure that out, to put our best team out there. But if a guy truly has the team in mind, he understands that, and the team can go forward from there.
Thanks. We have a question back over here, please.
Steve Lance Allen from WTMJ TV. Obviously, you wouldn't get this honor if you weren't greatly respected by the players on tour. I know you don't like talking about yourself, but what do you do to earn that respect and to be in the stature that you're in?
Yeah, good question. You know, I don't know. My upbringing, I guess, great parents, treat people fairly, just try to do the right things, I guess, and kind of earns the respect of other people, but kind of treat people the way, you know, I want to be treated. And, you know, I've made a lot of friends over the years and been around long enough where, you know, you're just old, you lose your hair, you gain that respect for being around. So it's nice. It's what I want to do. I mean, it's really you know, what I wanted to do here is to become this captain here, and so it's really truly an honor.
Question over here, please.
Rory Spears, Chicagoland Golf. Steve, congratulations. And I know there's always talk before a Ryder Cup how a captain can set up a golf course to favor his team. Considering with the 3 PGAs, none of them were won by Americans, is there anything you can do at Whistling Straits to hopefully make it more favorable for Team USA?
Yeah, you know, we'll always look at that. We'll take a look. We can't really take a look now. There's a lot of snow on the ground, but we'll go up there when the snow leaves in the spring sometime and take a look at it. And you know, I haven't been there for quite a few years, but we'll, you know, I'm sure we'll look back at some of the past Ryder Cup courses and what's been favorable for the U.S. team and try it applying accordingly to that.
Question over here, and then next question right over there, please.
Steve, Dennis Crosby for Spectrum News 1. What makes a good Ryder Cup player?
I think what makes a good Ryder Cup player is a guy who's playing well. I mean, and a guy who puts the team in front of everything, and he'll do whatever it takes to make that team succeed. You know, a guy who's passionate. I mean, we never have any problem with the passion on our side. I mean, the guys are so ready, you know, and willing and fired up to play. So it's about a guy who's willing to do anything for the team, and obviously he was playing well at the same time.
Yes.
Chuck Garbedian on golf. Steve, 19 months is going to come quickly. What does your schedule look like in terms of kind of evaluating who the teammates might be on this team and what the venue will look like leading up into this time frame?
Yeah, it's you know, it will come quickly, but it's a long ways away too. Literally, this is the first week where guys can start making points or earning points. So we have, you know, a long ways to go in that respect. You know, and I'll just keep watching. I'm going to play a lot on the regular tour. That's my goal, is to be out there as much as I can, and be with these guys, hear what they have to say, hear what some of their needs and concerns are, and then just, you know, watch for now, you know, and be there for any of them that, you know, needs anything. And but again, it'll be fun. It's a fun process. It'll obviously ramp up next year big time, but I'll be watching a lot of golf.
Jim Ozarski with the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. Steve, how are you? Obviously, Cups are announced long in advance. Maybe when did this event, this captaincy, maybe cross your mind? And did you start preparing either mentally or trying to work through or work your way towards this moment today and obviously going forward?
Yeah, you know what? It crossed my mind quite a few years ago when we found out that it was here in Wisconsin, and I was part of the task force early on, and you know, they had kind of maybe thought about me and kind of penciled me in, you know, 4 or 5 years ago. But at that point, I never really took it seriously. You know, it was still a long ways away. And then, you know, once I got the captaincy at the President's Cup, and I was serving under these other captains of, you know, Ryder Cup teams, then it became kind of, well, maybe it could happen. So it's been a process. It's been in the back of my mind, and then obviously the last year or more, you know, it's been a little bit more realistic. And then I got the call from Susie in December, and had to try to keep it a secret.
We did pretty well.
Yes.
Ahmad Arif with BMW Milwaukee North. Just a simple question. Does playing so close to home add any added pressure or put you more at ease?
I think, you know, I don't have to play, so that's a good thing. I think it puts us in a better position to try to win. You know, home field advantage in the Ryder Cup is a big deal, and so I think it puts us in a good spot. Our passionate fans, Wisconsin fans, are going to be there, and U.S. fans from across the country are going to be there to support us. So that's what's important, and that's what helps us. We saw it at Hazeltine. So we're looking forward to much the same passion from the fans and excitement level, and it brings out, I think, a little bit a better side of our player. You know, they play a little bit better. It's good to be home.
Gabe Neitzel, ESPN Milwaukee. This is going to be the first Ryder Cup with the new condensed schedule on the PGA Tour. So do you think it's going to be an advantage to have a little bit of downtime between the Tour Championship and the Ryder Cup, as opposed to this last year where you had the Tour Championship, everybody gets thrown onto a plane, next thing you know, they're in Paris?
Yeah, for sure. I think this helps. It helps both sides, really. I mean, you know, there's European players that are playing our tour, and they're playing the playoffs, and it's a busy stretch. You know, usually that last month or two is, you know, guys are playing 8 out of 9 weeks, or 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10. You know, they're playing a really busy schedule. So with the schedule being a little bit different, it gives everybody a little bit chance to kind of take a deep breath, relax, work on things if they need to work on things, and then prepare and get ready for this.
Questions? Back row over there, please.
Good morning. Chuck Quirnbach, Milwaukee Public Radio. President Trump closely follows golf. This will be just a few weeks before the re-election. Will there be more pressure on the U.S. team to do better or to win?
Say that again?
Sure. President Trump closely follows golf. This will be just a few weeks before the election. Will there be more? Will you feel more pressure for the U.S. to win? Why not?
No. Why? Well, I mean, we're you know, we're not going to be thinking about President Trump while we're out there playing golf. I mean, our guys are going to be focused on winning this trophy right here, and I know he's passionate about it. He handed me the President's Cup trophy when we won last year. You know, so I know he'll be watching, but we'll be thinking about this this trophy right here in front of us.
Gary D'Amato again. Steve, this has been talked about and asked a million times of you and many others, but in your own words, why do you think Europe's won 4 out of 5? Why are they so good at this, and why is it so hard for you guys to break through?
Yeah, and that's something that we're always asking ourselves too, you know. I mean, because we don't lack the passion or the intensity or the players. You know, we've got some of the best players in the world, and so do they. They've just come up with some key putts, you know, Paris. I truly believe in that home field advantage. The course was tailor-made for their players, and we just didn't play well. You know, it's a tough turnaround, like I said, from the playoffs, the Tour Championships, to hop on a plane there in Atlanta to get over there, and they're doing the same too. I'm not making excuses, but they just they rolled with it, you know, and they hit some of those key putts, and at times we haven't been able to do that, but other times we have. So. You know, this is a new year. It's a new Ryder Cup coming up. I'm looking forward to it. Our guys are looking forward to it. It stung again last year after winning at Hazeltine, and so the guys are fired up. They're ready already to try to get it back, and we're looking forward to it already.
Steve, Ben Lonvater from ESPN Milwaukee. What's the biggest takeaway or thing you've learned from being a vice captain in the years past and captain at the President's Cup that you can apply here in 2020 at Whistling Straits?
Yeah, I think just being there for the guys and the communication, I think, is a huge part. Knowing where these guys stand, whether they're going to play a match or not, whether they're going to sit. You know, just giving them the opportunity to have a great environment to play in. Davis Love taught us that. He made it so good for these guys and made them feel relaxed and comfortable, and that's what it takes. You know, it's hard. You got to treat it like it's just a normal day of golf, and it is just golf. But to try to get the best out of your players, you got to, you know, take a step back, I think, at times, and just say it is golf, and although it means a lot, but just the communication part, I think, is going to be a big deal for me.